The Camas lily. The most important vegetable food was the Camas lily. It was eaten by all of Idaho's tribes and many other Western Indian tribes as well. It was an important part of Indian life. Before white men plowed up the land, Camas grew in prairies and mountain meadows from British Columbia to California. Camas is a member of the lily family. The vegetable part is a large bulb which grows under the ground. The plant grows from 1 to 3 feet tall and has narrow grass-like leaves. When it blooms, its star-shaped flowers paint a Camas meadow a rich blue. From June to September, bands of Indians would camp in Camas meadows or prairies to dig and cook Camas bulbs. This was the work of the women, but children helped dig the bulbs. Digging was done with a digging stick. This was a stick which was sharpened on the end and the point made hard in a fire. It had a handle of bone or deer or elk antler tied crosswise on the other end. A basket or a parfleche, a bag made from animal skin, was typically used to hold the bulbs. The bulbs were carried to camp where they were cleaned and cooked. Digging and preparing Camas for winter would take an Indian band several weeks during the summer. The bulbs were cooked in earth ovens. These were pits in the ground in which a fire was built to heat rocks. When the rocks were hot, the Camas bulbs were put over them between layers of grass. The grass and Camas were covered with earth and left for several days. The heat from the rocks baked the Camas. Baking made the bulbs sweet and good, and they could be eaten that way. In the words of one Nez Perce woman, my grandmother would dig to check how far along they were cooking and then dig them out. When they are fresh, it was just like candy to us. Bulbs that were not eaten soon were mashed into flat cakes and dried. For winter, the Camas was prepared further. The baked bulbs were pounded into a mash with a mortar and pestle. The mash was made into loaves and cooked a second time by boiling. After boiling, the Camas was made into thin cakes and dried in the sun. The dried cakes could be stored for winter. 3 different parts of Idaho have been named for the Camas lily. Camas Prairie is in Idaho County near Grangeville. It was in Nez Perce country. Big Camas Prairie is in the southern part of Camas County around Fairfield. It was used by the Shoshone and the Bannock. Camas Meadow is smaller and is in Clark County north of Du Bois. It was near the Lemhi and Sheep Eater bands.